Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Banana?
God bless. And so I have some really awesome news. My husband just took his shahada last night. Ow, I am so excited. Hi, Safi. I'm doing a video.
You are?
Yes, I am.
Well,
You
would
are
like
half
a banana?
naked. I don't want a banana, but thank you. Just put it all in there.
Oh, I was gonna give Aaron a banana. Aaron, banana?
You're making the smoothie, right?
Yeah, I was gonna give him that.
Just put it in there. Don't forget to add water.
Okay.
Anyways, so my husband took a shahada the other night with our local Imam Hubert, and just super excited. And I even got to talk to Imam Hubert a little bit, and we were talking I had a difference of opinion on a part of the Quran, right? Interpretation. And I was asking him about it because another sister had suggested, she was just like, well, you should look into different schools of thought and just pick one and follow it. And I was kind of like, I don't know, because there's some things that I agree with in certain interpretations and other ones that not so much. Shafi, he tends to be quite literal in his things, which I appreciate sometimes, and I can appreciate him as an individual in his story. Anyways, long story short, so I was talking to the Imam about, like, well, how do I pick, like, what do I want to do? And he just kind of looked at me and he was just like, you're years ahead of where you should be in this regards. Like, you shouldn't even be considering, like, even worrying about this at this point. And he was just like, just work on perfecting your prayer. Just work on, performing your basic, your basic stuff. Don't even consider worrying about that. Anyways, so, like, my husband taking his shahada, it had me thinking, like, okay, now is a good opportunity to step back and reevaluate things and look at things from a bigger perspective. Kind of like the mathematical equations, like, oh, you're gonna hyper focus in, but you should also be able to come back out, right? A broad view, and be able to apply it in other areas, right? To be able to prove. Anyways, that's the nerd in me coming out. Ignore. So, like, I am just super excited. I'm so happy. I wish I had had my phone with me when it happened. Unfortunately, I didn't. And I'm kind of sad that I didn't. But, I'm just so happy, you guys. I'm feeling a lot better, as a person. And one thing I think that's really helping is being more consistent on things, like just being able to step back and say, okay, so here's this issue. I don't need to put so much pressure. I don't have to do things exactly like everybody else does. There's still room for me, right? There's still room for, like, what I like and things like this. So one of the things that I kind of changed up, like, is obviously, like, back a little bit more to what I like as far as clothing wise, which tends to be a little more gothic and urban, fluctuating back into understanding who I am as a person, and stepping back and reevaluating, like, the bigger picture, right? And that's your pillars, being able to say, and being able to step back and say, okay, what's important here? Sometimes we get so focused on little things that we forget the bigger picture, and I don't think that should be the case, right? Anyways, so, like, I've been really loving this style of hijab, like the sports hijab. I think this one is by Khaldun. I love just being able to throw it on and have it go. And I picked up this jacket just at my local Walmart, and I feel like this is going to be a real staple piece for me, and just some basic black t-shirts that I've always really liked. One of the things that was very hard in the beginning of Islam was really evaluating my wardrobe, amongst other things, because not only had I lost a lot of weight, and I unfortunately gained quite a bit back, but I lost a lot of weight, like 150 pounds, I want to say. I lost 150 pounds, and unfortunately I've gained some of it back, but yes.
Where are the apples?
They're in the kitchen by the bags.
Okay.
Yeah, there should be a half an apple on the counter. You can use it.
It's moldy.
It's not moldy. I just cut it open
Okay.
this morning, like 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
Children. Be careful.
Stupid soda.
So I had a ton of clothes that really didn't fit me anymore. And then I also had to reevaluate, like, what was modest, right? And determining what is modest is very hard, you know, especially as a person, like, knowing, and when you only have the Quran, it's kind of vague. And when you don't have a local leader, because Mom Herbert just came into the area, right? Recently just joined our mosque, right? And so knowing the story of the Prophet and being able to determine, you know, finding someone that you trust, right? That or that you can evaluate critically, to use critical thinking and say, okay, is this true? And is this valid? Is this something that I can follow consistently? And so being able to do all of these things, and when you're in a kind of isolated, it's really hard to do that. And I really had to evaluate, like, what could be consistent, what works for me, what I can do every day without feeling, you know, I guess weird about it, like micromanaging. And as I kind of talked about in my previous videos, one of the things that can be really hard for people who have gone through traumatic situations is control issues, is micromanagement, and other things like this, right? And that's something I really want to iterate, is like a lot of people who enter into Islam, they do have something traumatic. Almost everybody has something traumatic, and a lot of people don't deal with it. And so it can really lead to a unhealthy growth foundation base within Islam. And I'm working right now with a group of sisters, hopefully, talking about doing a women's group where we can just do activities. I said that really weird, activities. With not only those, a lot of the base, Muslim base within our community is immigrants. So you get converts and you get immigrants, and building a base for women to grow and to grow together and build a healthy community and understanding and mutual respect, right? And building bonds between each other and healing together. And so I'm so excited to be able to do something like that and to be able to put forth some ideas and to be active within that community that way. And so having something healthy to do that can help other people is one of the things that I absolutely love. I love to help people. I love going out of my way to do things for other people. And unfortunately, it can feel really daunting in life when, Hi, it can be really daunting when you feel like you're kind of cut off from that, or you feel like you're not doing enough. Hi, are you going to take over the screen? Hi.
Is there bread?
Yeah, you got bread.
Yes.
Yes, bread. You're so silly. Anyways, so this is kind of where I'm at. MashaAllah, my husband took a shahada. I've been stepping back and reevaluating the bigger picture on things, understanding that there is room for people to just have, especially myself, being kinder to myself and knowing that there are interpretations, that you don't have to, you know, be so deep into that, right? And just remembering that there's mercy for a reason. Right? Because none of us are perfect. We shouldn't have to strive for being perfect. And I mentioned to my Herbert, my mom Herbert, I was just like, you know, as a convert, when you transition, you feel like you're behind. And he goes, it's actually funny because it's the opposite. He goes, you know, you've had half your life pretty much wiped clean. You've had your slate wiped clean when you when you take your shahada, right? Everything that you have ever done is just cleared off your plate. And to move forward from that, he's like, so really in the end, you're going to have less sins, I guess, being added to your scale, right? And so it's funny that reverts, we feel like that when it's the opposite, you know? And I think maybe that's just something that we get paranoid about. Like, am I doing enough? How can we do better, right? You know, I want to avoid everything that could possibly have been previous, you know? Hi! Do you mind? Anyways, that's kind of where I'm at, and I hope this video has been helpful for you. You know, where are you at? Maybe you need to step back and take a bigger look at the picture, you know, and accept different forms of people's thoughts and feelings. And of course, inshallah, there will be other videos. Anyways, salam alaikum, guys. Peace be upon you. Don't be afraid to comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys later, inshallah. Bye.